In the beginning of the 19th century, Europe is in the middle of industrialization, a process which found its origins in England. Until that time, China was the #1 nation in the world, the most powerful. It was a great empire whose neighbours, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, all had to pay tributes to. In the eyes of England that had just completed its industrial revolution, China was an opportunity, and it was one of a kind. Ni hao, China. How would you like to do business with me? Nah. Oh, come on, there must be something I can offer you. Well, I could use some silver. Oh, hell to the nah. Shame. Oh, wait, okay, fine. You'll give me tea in exchange. Deal. It is in this deal at that time that the tea obsession of the British was born. Oh yes, England grew greedy in tea indeed, and always asked for more and more. China thus had to produce more and more, and this at the cost of other productions, such as the food for its own country. China then begins to be dependent on England, and being dependent on foreigners was China's nightmare. As for England, they were not so happy with all this silver going into China's pockets. In fact, they wanted it back and found a sly ploy to retrieve it. See, India, which was England's colony at the time, produced a certain drug, opium. England started to sell it to China, and opium being addictive, Chinese people became dependent on it. It wreaks havoc in the empire. That's it. I forbid opium import from now on. Too bad your population is already full of addicts who will be willing to pay me even more to get their opium. See, I sell less opium now, but so much more expensive. And I'm getting so much money out of this, especially since opium costs me basically nothing to produce. You want to play like that, huh? Alright then, I'm destroying each and every opium crate I find in Canton, the main port of opium import. Mom, these were my crates. China destroyed the crates of British companies implanted in Canton. That means me. We lost a lot of money in a very short time. We want to be compensated. And I don't be. I forbid the access to Canton to you. It sure seems like tension is rising. My hair is electrified. You think I did something there, huh? Send them the battle fleet. I want in the delta of Canton. Occupy the Isle of Hong Kong. We'll use it for supplies. Destroy all fortifications in the delta and sink all Chinese boats. This is what is commonly known as a show of strength to impose their claims. And here are my claims. I want to get back to business and to be compensated for my losses. Alright, and I want Hong Kong. What? No. Then I shall bomb you. Darn it. Okay, you get Hong Kong. Thanks, love. Send the troops further north and take the city of Shuzhen. Keep fighting in the south as well, to Macau, then Canton. Several battles will follow. The British win every time. In March of 1841, the British reach Canton and capture the city. There will be several rebellious attempts for the Chinese, but all will fail. In August of the same year, the British capture more cities, Xiamen, Shuzhen, and others. It enables the British to control Shanghai. In July of 1842, the British attack Nanking. China has to stop the war, for it only suffers defeats. On the 29th of August 1842, the Treaty of Nanking is signed. You will open your doors to international trade and let me annex Hong Kong, so I can always be present near Canton. Also, I'll always have the last word, right to trade freely in China, right to buy territories. This treaty was the first of what would later be called the unequal treaties. China is humiliated. After this treaty, 2 others will be signed with France and the US. Both also want to trade with China. Despite all these treaties, however, opium traffic still remains illegal because nothing has been said about that in the treaty. How bizarre. That concluded the First Opium War, but no, there wasn't only one. This story continues in October of 1856, 14 years later, when a British boat is captured by China for opium traffic near Hong Kong. They captured my drug dealers! It was the first diplomatic incident. On with the first phase of the Second Opium War. This cannot go unanswered for. I will intervene and change China's mind on the treaty. Troops attack Canton. Of course, that is what England meant by intervene. And boy, what a masterclass of an intervention that is. I joined forces with France, and our alliance has the financial support from both the US and Russia. In 1858, Canton is an Occidental victory. The Treaty of Tianjin is signed. China has to open new ports to international trade. The city of Beijing, closed until then, has to open to Occidental embassies. Opium is legalized in China a few months later. That marks the end of the first phase. Now on to the second phase of this Second Opium War. In 1859, China is rebuilding the forts at the mouth of Taku in order to protect Tianjin, which is supposed to be open to trade. You know what I'm gonna say. Let me guess, you're going to intervene. Indeed, France let's attack these forts and destroy them. The Europeans enter Chinese territory to move towards Beijing, the capital city, which is then taken. The summer palace in the capital is burned down. Chinese empire is beaten for good. The Convention of Peking is signed, yet another unequal treaty. England gets more territories, Hong Kong is extended to the profit of England. The treaty includes trade agreements and debts to pay to both France and England. Finally, the opium trade becomes legal again. Yay, freedom of trade for my honest drug dealers. Thus, the Opium Wars come to an end.